Welcome to Biotech Stage. It's a stage where we meet with the various biotech professionals from the globe and also from whole spectrum of biotech positions, including president, vice president, directors, team leaders, and most importantly, people who work on the bench. That means scientists. Today, our guest is Dr. Subramanyam Mantha. Dr. Subramanyam Mantha has over 3 decades of experience in biologics. He has worked in different Indian companies, BE, Bharat Biotech, HL Biotech, and also he did his postdoc in Canada. He has worked on vaccines, but same time he also worked on different other biologics. So today we are going to discuss with him about his experience, his expertise, his knowledge, and try to learn something from him. So welcome, Dr. Mantha, on this stage.
Thank you, sir. It's my pleasure to be on the your biotech stage podcast, and thank you for inviting me to say a few words about my experience and knowledge, and also give some advice to the younger biotech, either scientists or entrepreneurs or whoever want to enter into this kind of field.
Yeah. Okay. Dr. Mantha, there are a lot of things that we can discuss with you. The very first thing that I wanted to start with is if you could please tell us something about your experience in past 3 decades. How did you handle the challenging situations? How did you tackle difficult times? And how did you make your move from one company to another? Because whenever you make a move from one company to another, there are always some difficult times. There are some challenging things. So we want to learn something from your experience.
Sure, sir. Yeah. Basically, after I got my doctorate in biochemistry way back in '86, I had a brief stint here in India at the National Institute of Nutrition as a project assistant, and then I had an offer of postdoctoral fellowship at the biochemistry department at the University of Saskatchewan. So there I went to do work on basically my research was on diabetes mellitus using the animal models and testing the various efficacy of some indigenous components. Here I used actually an extract, an herbal extract from the Gymnema sylvester, which is a leafy herb which grows widely in the dry regions of the southern region part of the India. So having said that, I continued my postdoctoral work in the field of diabetes, where I continued at the University of Saskatchewan, and there I worked on the different animal models of diabetes, of type 1 and type 2. Along with that, I developed more of an enzymatic assays, analytical assays, and also the metabolite assays using various techniques of biochemistry, such as spectrophotometry and the gas chromatography, liquid and HPLC, and all these things. So the development stage, when you say that as an individual bench work scientist, it gave me immense pleasure. The pleasure in the sense that, first of all, we should have the motivation to do such kind of a work. Second thing is that motivation should lead you to persistent efforts. There are
Mhm.
many difficulties and challenges, as you have asked me. What are the challenges? To develop any assay, or to maybe it's an enzymatic assay or cell-based assay or analytic or any analytical methods or process, the challenges are many. Like what we collect from the literature and what we see and what is printed doesn't work for you, for each and every individual or for each and in every circumstances. So we have to adapt to the situation. So adapting to the situation is that you have to see set the conditions, put forward an hypothesis, and you want to test the outcome of that hypothesis. So you have to set a different environment to see that how you
Mhm.
can prove your hypothesis. So meanwhile, in this stage, you get so many challenges. The assay may not work according to your liking, but you have to adapt to that. So all these things, it may take some time, and also you have to keep on working on that one, changing the conditions of the assays or experiments on all those things. So by doing all these things, I've learned so many things, not only on the bench, but how to connect with other people. Like in those days, of course, we didn't have much of an internet connections and all those things. But library was my main source of help and those things. So I had to read a lot of literature related to the subject and
Mhm.
keep abreast with the latest developments and all those things. And at the same time,
Mhm.
attend as far as possible local seminars or discussions wherever the time permitted or where could ever I could go and do those things. So in this way, I completed my postdoctoral in two departments, one at the Department of Biochemistry and in the Department of another one at the Department of Pathology in the College of Medicine. So, and slowly I moved up to the research faculty, wherein again I continued my work on diabetes and also in the field of atherosclerosis. I moved also
Mhm.
simultaneously to the field of
Mhm.
all animal models at the same time clinical, some aspects of clinical areas like Parkinson's and like that. So the whole experience, the main experience, not only on the bench but also to interaction, for how to go about setting up a laboratory and also how to interact with others and how to present my data, how to, I mean, in the seminars, I presented in various seminars and also at the poster level and also at the as
Mhm.
a speaker. So my evolvement, so I could evolve not only on the bench but also on the how to communicate in terms of communication, my research work. So that
Okay.
my
Okay.
basic things.
Yeah, that's good to know. I mean, you touched on some of the very important aspects of anybody's career: persistent efforts, adapt to the conditions, and connect with other people. Those are the qualities that somebody can have. I mean, they can excel in any field. So, thank you very much for mentioning that. So, Dr. Mata, I wanted to ask you, biotechnology has moved a lot in past 25 years or 30 years. It used to be very simple things like insulin, and now they are very advanced monoclonal antibodies and also cell and gene therapy. So what current trends you are currently seeing in biotechnology that you think will take or will form the biotechnology products in coming few years?
Yeah, as I said, out of interest, I keep on looking at these things, and over the years, as you have mentioned, it's not only in the basic medical field, but we have seen the biotechnology has moved far away from the basics also, like in terms of drug delivery, in terms of diagnostics, in terms of medical devices, in agricultural area, environmental, nutrition, and also in biofuels. So we have seeing the applications of biotechnology in all these areas. So mostly, if we, as you mentioned, if you specifically see the medical biotech, uh, the the first insulin was isolated from the pancreas and all those basic experiments. Historically, we could see those things, but later on, when we see that now we have see that it is moved into the area of cell therapy, and of
Mhm.
latest we have seen the gene therapy. These are the advancements we are seeing in terms of all in terms of the medical biotechnology as far as medical biotechnology is concerned. And in diagnostics also, we have seen that in especially last few years after the advent of the COVID, we have seen the kits, development of kits for the medical devices for the detection of, see, maybe it's a cancer or maybe it is something else.
Mhm.
The bedside kits have been developed. So these are all the advancement we have been seeing in terms of medical devices also. So many the governments maybe in India and also the abroad, we are seeing that the government is also giving lots of facilities to come up with the medical devices organizations. And so we are
Mhm.
it's last 20 years, and especially last 10 years, you have seen so much advancement in the all aspects of biotechnology.
Mhm.
I'm not an expert in agricultural environment, but on the nutritional side also, because basically
Mhm.
my basic research involved in nutritional aspects of diabetics. Like I've used vitamin E and extracts of garlic and other components to show their usefulness as a supplements to the regression of diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it may not add a big value, but at the same time, it leads to something else which could. I mean, in terms of now, you can use the advanced technology, say for cell therapy or gene therapy. The same thing can
Mm-hmm.
be applied there and see whether really those ingredients or the active components of these compounds are really having that value to regress certain disorders or metabolic disorders using the cell or
Mm-hmm.
uh, uh, therapy technologies.
Okay.
So I look into these advancements.
Yeah. Biotechnology, as you mentioned, yeah, the lot of different things can develop from biotechnology, and there is a lot of potential in coming years, and especially as you mentioned, the different kits that are being developed, especially for early detection of various diseases. That's a key, early detection and kits based upon the genetic engineering. The next thing that I wanted to ask you, I asked you what are the challenges that you faced in your personal career and when you moved from company to company. I wanted to ask you what are the challenges that biotechnology is facing at this time. Is it money? Is it the regulations? Is it the lack of awareness? So what are the challenges in this field?
Yeah, I mean, it's all mixed factors, I would say, like, it's only priority. Like each organization has their own priorities and government has got a certain mandate. So generally, I mean, if you see from the federal government, they support projects which are of national interest and which are of public utility. Like, so they fund that kind of. So if it's a stiff competition. There are good companies which compete, but unfortunately, they may not make it to the final round of getting their funds from them. But still, they keep on working, and that's where the your persistency comes. So sometime, I mean, this year you may not get. Maybe after 2 3 years, you may be come up with some other good novel idea, and that may get funded. That's how it's keep going. You have to keep on going. That's the funding part. Funding is available, but it's how to tap it and how to go about it to get it. Then the lack of motivation. Lack of motivation is because again it reflects from the funding. As I said, you have to keep on
Mhm,
trying. If you don't
mhm,
try, you may lose it. So then what's your aim? You're aimless. You go some and you're lost. You have to be in the race. Always be in the race to get your proper funding. And regulatory.
mhm,
Regulatory is one thing which is it's a separate subject as such. It has to evolve. Evolve in the sense that, so of course, even if you see the Indian Drugs Act and all and the rules, the vaccines of late only they put in some regulations into specifically for the vaccine. It's more of only for the general pharma, not for biotech in purpose specifically. So now recently only they are coming up with the and they have done some for the vaccine. Still, it has to evolve a lot. Like if you take for diagnostics, if you take for agriculture, if you take for the medical devices, so each one has got its own regulations. So the regulatory has to also expand in all directions as the technology is evolving. Regulations or regulatory personnel should also be trained in such a way that they can handle all these kinds of fields, specifically all those things. So their skills also should be equally important. Sir. So resources for all
mhm,
again you come back. Manpower is important. Of course, the funding, as I said, is important. And basically, the awareness. As I said, each company has got its own business proposals. Some enter into
mhm,
vaccines, some enter into kits, some enter into only enzymes. But whatever said and done, they should have the resources should be in properly in place. Their personnel should be highly trained. Their regulatory should be highly trained so that the local they can with the regulatory people can discuss with the local authorities and then they take up their issues with the national authorities and then they can put up a framework for in their respective fields. That's what my
Mhm.
whole perspective is.
Yeah, Anya. No, I think that that makes a lot of sense. I mean, lack of motivation if there are no fundings or if there are delayed fundings, and funding takes time, and some people may lose their motivation. So that's important, and but keep trying. And regulatory, I mean, if somebody does something and there are not proper regulations for that, because it is still biotechnology, even if it is in India like 20 plus years or 30 years or so, still it is evolving, because it is such an advanced level of science, and that it takes time for even for government to come up with the regulations. And when we say it is such an advanced level of science, and not, I mean, government may not be fully aware. So that brings to my next question, and that is a public perception. There are a lot of people didn't know about biotechnology, and people came to know only after, or came to know more about it after COVID era,
Yes,
when there were some vaccines. And now there is a lot of talk about CRISPR. I mean, the genes can be edited very fast, very, I mean, in a very efficient mode. So people are getting more aware of it, and sometimes the awareness is not in a positive sense. So just wanted to get your feel on it. What do you think should be done? What can be done to make sure public is well educated on biotechnology issues?
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a general discussion, but what I think is that it should start at the school level. It should start at the school level. Okay, the science programs, whatever they have, maybe once in 6 months or one year, yearly once, they can call a local biotechnology professor from the university or from any research institute or the retired scientists who have done major work in these kind of areas. They can invite them and ask to talk a few words in general about the general biotech perspective and how it works, what are the pros, what are the cons, and why should they not be? Why should they be afraid of? Why should not they be afraid of? And what happened? What will not happen? All these things can be spoken so that the children. I mean, it can be an open forum, like they celebrate the annual day, right, in the schools and colleges. So one day they can have a half day program inviting their parents or all the public to have a discussion. I mean, so that there's a open so that they can people can in the school society they can get an awareness of these things. So this could be translated again, taken at the university level, and then the state science forums where people can be invited to talk all these things. They can arrange a state level seminar or district level seminars. So unless some body or some organization starts these things and takes to the next level at different levels, people will not get a feeling of these things. See, if I buy something and keep it in my almirah, nobody will know what is happening. I may enjoy it, but how to get the people persons to know outside? Some discovery is made. What is the purpose of the discovery? What will happen tomorrow? If you see vaccines are there, people still many people do not take their child to the vaccines because they have some kind of fear. Something wrong would happen. So maybe in the cities they buy, but even in cities, some do not take their child to get their vaccination. But the importance of vaccines, not only vaccines, but other things also. Now, see, in the next maybe in the 20 years, everybody will more of think about gene therapy. But still, I myself do not know what will happen if I take something related to if I take some stem cells as a treatment. I do not know what will happen. Even if I
Mhm.
go for some major surgery, we will think 10 times. Why should I go? What will
Mhm.
happen? Yeah, it's a natural. So all these fears and apprehensions and should be allayed. But you should also caution them. You should see these are the good things will happen available. These are some of the things you have to discuss with your personal physician and see what best can be done to you or your child or a family member. So unless the public awareness is happens right from school, at the college or district and state level, nothing will move forward. That's what my
Yeah.
feeling is.
Yeah. No, it's very right, and I think you touched on something that I don't think many people have mentioned about it, or maybe nobody has mentioned about it, and that is that it start at the early level, school level, because at the schools, I understand at this time, kids are being taught about programming, kids are being taught about computer, which is good,
Yeah.
but at the same time, the biotechnology is also equally important, or even more important in certain aspects. And if we can start programs so that kids know at the school level, they will know what the biotechnology is, what the gene therapy is, what the different uses of vaccines. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, when see, we conducted many exhibitions at the school level, at the
Hmm.
college level.
Hmm.
Simple.
Hmm.
That time I was also curious. Simply,
Hmm.
you put some chemical, you add something, some volcano kind of things comes out. So, I mean, you
Hmm.
exhibit. Why you exhibit so many things? Because each child will have some curiosity in some field, maybe physics or
Hmm.
biochemistry or medical field or chemistry or something, some curiosity will occur at least in 5 to 10% so of the people, so that
Hmm.
they can again pick up from there. They, see, that's how I see. I not know much. I didn't know about biochemistry. My field totally changed because I was in chemistry. I'm a chemistry graduate at the undergraduate level. But later on, in that time, biochemistry was not known in 70s much about biochemistry. I don't know, by chance or choice or accidental, I entered into biochemistry, and then I didn't have a biology background. My biology stopped at the standard itself, eighth class. Then afterwards, I didn't biology. So right in the postgraduate classes, I had to take out take the help of my other fellow classmates to learn botany, zoology, microbiology.
Hmm.
We are in the water. You have to learn. If you start, I don't know how to swim, but somebody had to help me through, wade it out. So I put in some
Hmm.
efforts, got in the basics, and then try to push myself. So that's how
Hmm.
it should be. Like otherwise, people always will be blank. So unless we conduct it at the school, college, and district, all different levels of sciences,
Hmm.
it will be very difficult to get through the public this kind of thing.
Thank you very much for your views on it. They are very important. The next thing that I wanted to ask, which is basically very connected with with the things that we just discussed, what is your advice for younger generation? So younger generation, we teach them at the school level. Now they have done bachelor's or master's degree, and they are trying to enter into the biotechnology field. So, do you have some advice for younger generation what they need to focus on? And actually, I wanted to mention why I'm asking this question. By the way, this particular podcast, this particular conversation is more geared towards a younger generation, people who are entering into the biotechnology task force. So, your views will be very important on this.
Yeah. Hey, of course, what I find is people do what you call the natural sciences courses to enter into a kind of a medical colleges. But getting admission into medical colleges is something called a Herculean task in India, maybe abroad also. I'm not sure about it. But anyway, people then, after not getting into medical courses, they simply see that, okay, we'll do some zoology, botany, some kind of a physics, and then enter into a biotech. Without knowledge, they enter into biotechnology. That's what I
Hmm.
feel from where I gathered a few questions. Students who have come when I was in the industry. I used to interview them. During interviews, I asked them, "How did you get into biotechnology? Why are you interested in joining the organization as a biotech?" They used to tell, "No, we don't have any idea because." Earlier I said the practical knowledge I find is missing in the colleges and schools. And the undergraduate level also, the practical knowledge is missing. So once you miss the practicals, they they don't even they have not viewed or not seen what is happening, they won't understand. They
Hmm.
might prepare for the exams theoretically and write with the answers, but that is not going to help them anyway. So my
Hmm.
background was different. We had a good practical training in the school and colleges. We had individually
Hmm.
had to do experiments in those days. But now I don't think that much kind of focus is on that one. Anyway, that's a different subject. But so leaving that one, what I would say is If you have developed any interest to join biotechnology at the BSc or the BTech or the MSc level, first you should have a good proper focus. Focus in the sense, not the end result. Do not see what is going to happen after 2 years. You focus on
Mm-hmm.
whatever subjects you're studying now at the whatever level and whatever subjects you have in the course. You study each and everything thoroughly, but you focus on one or two which you think you can have more interest in. About
Mm-hmm.
you have clinical biochemistry, you have endocrinology, you have physiology, you have metabolic. All these things are different subjects may be there, but you may be interested in some endocrinology or something. Focus more on endocrinology, trying to see what more can be done. Suppose after 2 years, what when I enter into a work field, what are the prospects for endocrinology? If you start digging at that level itself, then when you will be almost ready to at least face the interview and show some inquisitiveness or your interest, so that the interviewer will get okay. He has done some homework. I mean, it's not
Mm-hmm.
a pressure, but he has done some homework. He has some idea that what he has to do. So something that's how
Mm-hmm.
the preparation should be there for. So it's all the you have to be focused. You should work for it. You work hard in that in towards that one, keeping in mind not the you keep in mind the goal, but not the result. Goal, the post
Mm-hmm.
is there. You know it is there, but you think you have to reach there, but not the you're not yet got the result. Thinking that okay,
Mm-hmm.
not that just okay, I have passed out. Now I'm looking for job. If I get the job, I will see. Otherwise, I mean, okay. I'll get some post. I'll work. I mean, for some money. It's money. Money is not important. Money is important, but not that at the initial level. Don't look for the money. You just
Mm-hmm.
get into that.
Mm-hmm.
You have got an offer. It's good. You get into it. You work for it. You prove yourself. You show your interest.
Mm-hmm.
Develop interest. You develop your specialty
Mm-hmm.
to move ahead. So that's how it
Mm-hmm.
goes. So so coming back to my example, when I passed out of my masters, I attended many. I mean, those days we had no internet and all those things. Only we used to look into the newspapers and find out whether jobs are available, and then we apply and all those things. So I got into CSR as a junior scientific assistant. About 20 internal candidates and three external candidates, and I was one among them selected for the from the external candidate because my preparation, my intuition was different. I had, I mean, I was only good at the subject and the practical aspects. So that probably them, and then they selected. So each one, you should not go with the aim that okay, whatever question they'll ask, I should not be put a blank face. I should be able to answer in such a way that I'm expressing my interest. I know something, but I'm not sure about it fully, completely about it. But I have this much knowledge there. So you should be able to focus on what you want, but still you should keep on moving in that one. And reading a lot. You should learn a lot, not only before joining, but also after you join, you keep on learning
Mm-hmm.
more.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have to
Mm-hmm.
move ahead, you have to learn. It can be small things like see, as I said, when I joined in the industry, I didn't know much about my. I was not much about a microbiologist. I'm more a biochemist. But you have to do a fermentation. Means you have to. It's more of a microbiology process. So I took the help of my colleague and asked him what happens, what is all these things, and I started learning, and then got a good grasp grasp over the subject and understood the basics, how it works and all.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of a learning. Maybe it's a junior person or senior. You should not see. You should learn from everyone. You should learn from
Mm-hmm.
everyone and get to
Mm-hmm.
move ahead. So you read a lot.
Okay.
Nowadays, literature availability is very easy. You tap everything, you get everything on your desktop. Not like those days when you used to go to the library to get those books and all. Now it's very easy to simple to get anything on any subject. So this is how keep the goal in mind, work hard, keep your interest, passion, and then keep
Mm-hmm.
work and keep learning. I think success will be yours.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I think these are very important valuable advice. So all the younger generation, if you are trying to enter into the biotechnology task force, different companies, please remember, I mean, this is coming from somebody who has done a lot of work in biologics, who has done over 3 decades of work. So please listen to his ideas, listen to his advice, and I'm sure it will definitely help you. So now, actually, we have been talking for quite some time, and now we are coming towards the end. And Dr. Mantha, I wanted to end this by asking or doing a rapid fire question series.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you 10 different questions. Please tell your response on the scale of, and these questions are actually for the Indian biotech status.
Okay.
If you could please give your response in on the scale of 1 to 10, 10 meaning being best, almost there, or strongly agree.
Okay.
So, and we aim to finish this in less than 60 seconds. So I'll start now. So very first question, quality of biotech drug products in India.
8,
Okay. Second, production capacity in India.
7,
Okay. Innovation in India.
5.
Okay. IP protection in India.
Pardon. Please repeat.
Yeah, intellectual property protection, IP.
5, 5.
5. Okay. And next question, adequate availability of talented workforce.
6,
Okay. Productive interactions among peers.
6,
Okay. Capital available to support and commercialize new projects.
7,
Okay. And cost efficiency with an aim to reduce cost of drugs.
5.
Okay. And next question, unambiguous guidelines for regulatory process.
I'll pass.
Okay. Next, or the final question is make in India efforts.
5.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Now we end this conversation or the podcast. So, Dr. Mantha, thank you very much for your availability, your ideas, and such a valuable advice that you have given or shared in past 30 minutes or so. Thank you again.
Thank you, sir. It was my pleasure, and I hope this is taken in a very positive attitude and well taken by the youngsters in the whoever listens to this one. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you again.